Top 3 transfers for game week 27. I've got a lovely selection of players for you. One plays for one of the best attacking teams in the Premier League versus the worst defensive team. You're going to want a piece of that. Next up, I've got a differential. So if you're chasing your mini league or overall rank, I've got you covered. Last but not least, I've got a player who is on form, has nice fixtures and plays in the blank game week 29. I did say I've got you covered. Now, before we get into these transfers, do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe and share the video. Now you've done that, let's get into it. Let's have a look at the first transfer I'm recommending, and it's Martin Odegaard, one of my favorite players in the Premier League. Before I tell you why I'm recommending him, a reminder. Do not make early transfers this game week. Why? We have FA Cup fixtures. The FA Cup 5th round is going to be played midweek. So we could have injuries. We could have update on injured players. For example, Klopp could say Salah's back. And last but not least, we're going to know game week 29 fixtures, the games that are on, the games that are off. So it's an important week to listen to the videos, make notes, but do not go early, okay? Wait till the FA Cup fixtures are completed and let's see the information we get out after that. So just bear that in mind. Let's get to Martin Odegaard. Arsenal have scored 58 goals this season, which is the second best in the Premier League. They really have gone into gear with the goals. Since the Dubai break, they've come back rejuvenated. They look fresh. Before then, they weren't creating as much chances, but more importantly, they weren't converting them. Now they are. You just saw what they've done to Newcastle. Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. Ruthless display. Arsenal are on hot form at the moment, and you're going to want a piece of their attack. Why? Because you might have Saka, but everyone does. So where's your gains? You won't be making gains. And if they score 4 goals against Sheffield United and 3 goals against Brentford, you're going to want a piece of that. So I'm looking for Arsenal attackers to bring in, and hence why Martin's first on my list. The fixtures, I just said a minute ago, Sheffield United, Brentford and potentially Chelsea, but there's a question mark there because that's a game week 29 fixture. Depending on the FA Cup results, that might not go on. 5 points per match he's averaging, which is not bad at all. Last 5 fixtures, 2, 14, 10, 2, 2. So it's only 2 returns from the last 5. Not the super consistent, but they're both double-digit returns when he did. 5 goals, 7 assists in 2,034 minutes. Again, when you look at the historical data, it's not incredible, but we're gambling on the next 2 fixtures. Like I said, it's a combination of Arsenal's form versus the weakest teams possible coming up. The negative I can think of, likely to blank in game week 29. So again, it's a short-term move and maybe a move you do not go near if you're not free hitting in 29, mainly because you're bringing in a player that you're going to have to either bench or sell. And there's not many transfers left for us to be able to navigate through that without taking hits, and avoid that if you can. Let's have a look at the second transfer. God, this is turning into a North London special. It's Kai Havertz, a player I never thought I'd be recommending. But here we are. Slow start to his Arsenal career. In fact, many of us thought he's not good enough to even cut it. But recently he's starting to turn a corner, or is it just a lucky blip? But I'll tell you why he's in this video. Arsenal, it's all about the team. Arsenal have won 6 in a row and they've scored 25 goals in those 6 games. So they're not just winning, they're battering teams. And we need a piece of that attack. Now we have Saka, but check your mini league. Everyone has him. So you're not making much gains. We need another attacker to put beside him to make them gains. And I've already spoke about Odegaard, but why not Kai Havertz? The fixtures I've already discussed. Gorgeous short-term fixtures. But this one is a differential, 1.6 owned. Normally get differentials from teams that are not so favourable, mid-table or lower. Managers don't really want them. But you're getting a differential from a team that's challenging for the Prem, who are on fire and have lovely fixtures. Last 5 games, 14, 12, 3, 4, 1. If we're being polite and give 4 as a return, he's had 3 returns from a possible 5, which is okay, but 2 double-digit returns back to back. Very versatile, can play in the 8, can play in the 10, further forward, and it depends on what Arteta does, obviously, whether he plays a striker, like I say, a Trossard ahead of him, and he has to play further back, but in both roles, he's returned. 6 goals, 4 assists in 1,593 minutes. Again, not great, but we're not looking at the historical data. We're looking at the upcoming potential of Arsenal's form meeting these 2 weak teams. That's what we're concentrating on. Negative is potentially going to blank in game week 29 like Odegaard. So again, not exactly a move to not a player you want to bring in if you're not going to free hit in 29. Very, very unlikely. This is a player that you want to target the next 2 fixtures and try to maximize your points. Let's have a look at the third transfer. Dominic Solanke. Now, many of you managers already own him. Fair play to you. You're one step ahead. But I'm recommending to bring him in this week if you don't own him. If you're not bringing him in this week, he's got to be your transfer next week. And I'll tell you why. Look at the fixtures. Burnley away, Sheffield United at home, Luton at home. That's unreal. But even past that, Bournemouth have some of the best fixture run. The double game week in 28 is another huge carrot, which makes it very difficult to not own him in the upcoming game weeks. Honestly, just look at the double game week. Sheffield United at home, Luton at home. He scored 14 goals this season with 3 assists in 2,227 minutes. That just tells you how well he's doing and what a season he's having. I'm so happy for him. Third highest scoring forward in FPL with 128 points. He's having one of those seasons. He's averaging 5.1 points per match, which is 4th out of 108. Again, these are just all ticks against why you need to bring him in. Only negative I can think of why you don't want Dom to be in your team is, he's likely to blank in 29. Unlike the Arsenal players, you could argue that even if you're not free hitting, you're going to want to own him for the double game week, and then you could either bench him or sell him. So he's more priority than them. Those two are attacking the next 2 game weeks for maximum points, but they're not great for planning as they don't have a double game week, but they blank in 29. Where Dominic, no, he gives you the double, and it's going to be very difficult to not own him, as I said, in that double game week. I have a bonus transfer for you, so another differential. Let's have a quick look. It's the Jamaican Leon Bailey. He had to be in the video. I love the way he played the last game. Looks like he's fully fit, which is more important for him. He's had injury concerns. Signed a new contract, so he's playing with a smile on his face. He's got the backing of the manager. And look at the price. Look how cheap he is. Honestly, no headache to bring him in. You could even bench him. Look at the fixtures. Luton away, Tottenham at home, West Ham away. Nice enough fixtures. When you add that, Villa are back on track. They had a little wobble, but they're definitely back on track. Only 4% owned. What a gorgeous differential. Again, if you're chasing mini leagues, overall ranks, you want a player that not many people own, there you go. Last 5 games, he scored a 12, a 2, 5, 7, 4. If we're giving a 4 as a return, he's had 4 returns from the last 5. So the consistency's there. 1 double digit as well. 4.5, he's averaging points per match this season, which is okay. Plays in blank game week 29. Now, this is the biggest carrot, the biggest tick of why I'm recommending him. He's a player you can enjoy now. You can start him, bench him. But more importantly, if you're not using a chip like a free hit in 29, he plays. So you can plan ahead. That's the reason he's a lovely, lovely pick. You could go for his teammate, I have to say, while I'm recommending him. A lot of people prefer Douglas Luiz, takes the penalties, not a minute's risk. But I think I prefer Bailey. Honestly, I prefer him. 8 goals, 8 assists in 1,251 minutes. It tells you that's a lovely return ratio. If you can up those minutes, whether it's staying fit or the potential minutes risk because of the record signing Diaby from Leverkusen, who's been benched recently, which is a possible issue for him. But if he can up the minutes, this is a player that can give us a lot of points for that price and also ticks the game week 29. So it helps you with your planning. So that's why he had to be in the video. I had to get one of them in that could help us because a lot of the other players were short-term attacking the next 3 fixtures, but game week 29, they did not help us. This one, he does. I hope you enjoyed my video, but more importantly, I hope you found the video useful. Get in the comments, let me know who you're bringing in, who you're taking out, what's your plans for the upcoming game weeks. Always intrigued to see what other managers are doing, but more importantly, I'll reply to all your comments. Now, before you leave to your next video, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, press the bell icon so you get a notification when my videos are out. And on that note, I'm going to wish you good luck and see you in my next video.